Hey everybody, welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day. Remember, if you enjoy these daily videos, hit subscribe, join Ninja Nation, and without further ado, here are my filthiest pitches of the day. I'm going to start with Chris Bassitt, who had 9 strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings, thanks to these cutters and two-seamers. Austin Voth had 4 strikeouts and 2 2/3 scoreless, and had these wicked 2,900 RPM curveballs. Logan Gilbert had 6 strikeouts in 6 innings, thanks to his changeup and overpowering fastball. Andrew Heaney had 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, giving up only 1 run. Most of his Ks were on these elevated fastballs. If you notice, his arm slot is somewhat similar to like Sean Manaea's arm slot, so he's able to throw these elevated sinkers, and it's very effective. His ERA on the year, .59. Merrill Kelly had this nasty changeup, and had 5 strikeouts in 7 innings, giving up only 1 run. Ian Anderson had 6 strikeouts in 6 2/3 scoreless innings, giving up only 3 hits, thanks to his always filthy changeups. And here's an overlay of his fastball and changeup. You can see why his changeup is so filthy. Luis Severino had 9 strikeouts. Now, he did give up a lot of runs, but he also had some filthy stuff. And here's an overlay of his fastball and slider. You can see why you might swing at that slider out of the zone, because it starts out inside the fastball that was called a strike. But that slider ends up well off the plate. Nick Pivetta had 10 strikeouts in 7 innings, giving up only 1 run. And I love him pitching with emotion here, letting out a F yeah on the way to the dugout after K-ing the side. Get fired up, young man. Here's an overlay of his slider that was fouled off and his elevated fastball, and you can see why that elevated fastball might get a swing. Pivetta is able to throw a lot of elevated fastballs because of this breaking ball fastball tunneling. Shane Bieber had 9 strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings thanks to this absolute filth. These sliders and knuckle curves are disgusting. Look how much Freddie Freeman misses this knuckle curve by. I mean, Freeman's one of the best hitters in baseball, and he misses it by like 2 feet. Despite Bieber's velocity being down this season, he is still filthy. Here's Shane Bieber's slider grip.
This year, I'm right on that horseshoe with some, I'd say the thumb is just in a natural spot, whatever feels most comfortable. And I'm just working on my takeaway, not letting it get out, just keeping everything nice and tight.
My filthiest starting pitcher, though, was Sandy Alcantara. He is a freaking workhorse. He had 8 strikeouts in 8 innings and was just dominant. Check out this 3-pitch K to Marte. Just crazy stuff. Here's an overlay of one of those fastballs and his 93-mile-an-hour changeup. And look how much these things track to the plate despite the velo difference. That makes it impossible to square up. This is pitch tunneling at its best. And look at this changeup that had 25 inches of arm side run. Insane. But his filthiest pitch of the day was this 99-mile-an-hour front door two-seamer with 19 inches of run. It's like Greg Maddux plus 10 miles an hour. Alcantara's ERA on the year, 1.72. He just may be the best starting pitcher in baseball right now. Now on to my filthiest relievers. Brusdar Graterol had this combo of a 99-mile-an-hour sinker and a 93-mile-an-hour slider, and look at that. Miles Straw was none too happy with Graterol's celebration. Joe Mantiply has quietly been really good this year. His ERA on the year, .36, and he had this filth. Ryan Presley had this buzzsaw curveball with 3,360 RPMs. Michael Fulmer had this vicious 87-mile-an-hour slider and got the sword. Miguel Castro may have been roughed up yesterday, but he did have this 100-mile-an-hour fastball with 22 inches of arm side run. Jordan Romano blew away Aaron Judge with this 98-mile-an-hour absolute diesel. I thought you might enjoy this from David Bednar. You can see how a pitcher avoids tipping a pitch. He butterflies his glove to make the hitter think he's switching his grip, even though he's staying with his splitter grip. Remember, you pitchers out there, tip your waiters, don't tip your pitches. Eli Morgan's been nasty all season, and here's a home plate view of his changeup, and you can see how much spin he puts on that ball. Speaking of changeups with a lot of spin, Devin Williams had this 2,842 RPM airbender with 23 inches of arm side run and a ton of vertical drop. John Schreiber annihilated the side. I freaking love his intensity. But my filthiest reliever was Emmanuel Clase. Look at this 102-mile-an-hour cutter and then a 96-mile-an-hour slider. We should never take for granted that this man is throwing 102-mile-an-hour cutters and 96-mile-an-hour sliders. Babe Ruth would freaking poop himself if he saw this. And now, my pitching ninja moment of zen. This is so disrespectful to this poor glove.
Here's some of the video. This is
what?
The coaching staff trying to break in the new glove.
That's no way to treat a glove.
I've never seen that ever.